This week's second video is all about how to create Pinterest images for e-commerce shops. So I'm actually looking at this shop for the first time with you, and I want to do this for a couple of different reasons. First, when we go behind the scenes over here on my computer and I actually show you how to create Pinterest images for this store, I also want you to see the beginnings of like how my brain works when it comes to finding those keywords and creating images for these items. Now, these are physical items that this store owner would ship to her customers. And thank you, Karen, for reaching out on YouTube and letting me know that you liked my last video about e-commerce tips using, getting more sales using e-commerce and Pinterest, and offering up your daughter and her beautiful store, which I think I'm gonna have to visit because I really think that she has a place on Pinterest and I wanna take you guys along with me. So this week's video is really all about just behind the scenes of how to create Pinterest images for physical products like Sarah's. She's got a really, really neat shop on Etsy. You guys should all visit. I'll make sure to link it in the description below. And I'm going to just go ahead. We're going to dive right into the computer. This week's video, like I said, it's a little bit different. Video 2 every week is going to be a little different. It's more tech, it's more behind the scenes, and less about all the other stuff that I talk about on the channel, okay? So let's just go ahead and dive right into the computer. P.S. Hey, if you're new here and you like these kinds of videos, click that subscribe button. I release videos on Mondays and Thursdays every single week, at least for the time being. So let's jump on in and get started. Okay, so we are inside of Sarah's Etsy store. I wouldn't say we're inside of it, we're definitely on it. And Sarah sells original drawings, paintings, and art prints, stickers, all sorts of really, really pretty stuff. I am not this talented, Sarah, and I really, really hope that your channel or that your store just does so well. So let's just dive into some tips for creating Pinterest images for this kind of product. Now, these are art prints and stickers. So let's just take a look. Now, the first thing that I would do if Sarah was my client is I would go to her items and I would figure out what she's naming it and what keywords that she's using on Etsy, because Etsy is also a keyword search-driven platform. So I want to take a look at her keywords and see what she's typing in. So she's using phrases like watercolor painting, dark fairy original, maybe just dark fairy. And then down here in her description, she's also using some keywords as well. Mysterious dark fairy, I don't even know how to say that word. So that's what I would do is I would start here. I want to take a look at the type of product that she's actually using in her art. So what, paper, what canvas, what kind of watercolor. Is it watercolor? Is it acrylic paint? All of those things for your products you should take that into consideration when you're creating your Pinterest images. Now, in this product, she's using arches, hot press paper, and watercolors and ink, and it's not framed. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop over to Pinterest. I just have my main Pinterest window opened, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for fairy, F-A-E-R-I-E, watercolor. I'm going to hit enter. I like to start really broad and then kind of narrow down into what comes next. So this looks really like hers. I wonder if it is. So a lot of people pin things from Instagram that they find, just random, people on the internet will pin things, and this leads to a dead link, which is no good. So I'm going to keep just typing in things and looking for different keywords. So I actually want to pull up a Google Doc and just start putting these keywords into a doc. If this was my client or if this was my brand, I would have a content hub where I would save all of this information. But for now, I just want to find about 5 different keywords so we can create a few different Pinterest images because I don't want this video to take forever. So I know that the fairy is spelled that way, but I also want to go back and spell it the way that I would think it would be spelled. Fairy art. Okay, fairy art drawing sketches, aesthetic. Those are all things that we can use. So I'm gonna type fairy art, and then I'm just gonna copy this. Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to look through. You can see that most of these people, it's just the artwork by itself. But I want to challenge you to use some text overlays. This is fine. You can definitely just pin your art like this. But something else that I want to challenge you to do is just use some text overlays. It helps to tell Pinterest what your image is about. So let's do whimsical. Whimsical fairy art. You can definitely fit into this search. So let's copy that one and paste it down here. Now we have 5 keywords, technically have 4 because, you know, some of these, I don't know that I'm going to use this one. I might use that one in the description, but that's okay. I'm going to use this one right here for a text overlay, and then I'm going to use this one right here. And I'm going to come over here and look at her image, and I'm actually going to save the image. It might download weird, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop over here and I'm going to click Pinterest, pin, and then we're going to look at these templates and see if this is anything we like, but chances are it's not going to be. This kind of looks whimsical. I don't really know if that's what you would call it. This is really, we could customize that for sure. I like this. All right, so let's create 3 Pinterest images out of those templates. You can see that's easy as just getting into Canva and clicking open a new template. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't know what Sarah's brand colors are, if she has a brand color, because she uses all the colors of the rainbow in her art, is I'm going to delete that out of there, and I'm going to upload this image, move my face. I'm going to upload this image to Canva. And I'm going to resize it a little bit and get rid of this frame because I don't want the image to actually be cut off. Oh no, that kind of looks good. I don't know that I want it in that frame though, so I'm gonna get rid of the frame. What we can do is actually just make this a little bigger, readjust it a little bit, and then put this on it, and then that will kind of look like a frame. Now you can see by doing Pinterest images this way how you're gonna stand out in the feed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our main keyword. So our main keyword is going to be this. And I'm gonna take out original. I'm gonna make it way bigger. I'm gonna shrink that line down. Okay, and it just fits in there, so we're gonna move this. It's not working. There we go. We're gonna just move that down. And then we're gonna shrink this up a little bit more because I want that to stand out. And then you're gonna come down here and you're going to add maybe something else. Maybe that whimsical fairy art. Or you could even do keywords like gifts for friends, gift ideas for friends. And then I don't like to use a lot of script font. I like to use more of like block type font. So I'm going to use that forum again. I'm going to stretch this out and center it. And then you're going to put your URL here. So in this case, you have a website on Etsy. I don't know what that link looks like, so I'm just going to put your name in there, Sasha Fitzgerald. And now you can see how much different your pin is going to stand out. In the feed, you're using keywords, your pin's going to stand out, and it's going to also fit in, right? Because this is what people are looking for in the search result. So let's do this 2 more times. I'm going to try to do this quickly to not take up so much time. But we're going to use that same image again. My face. So you can stick it in there like that. And then I don't like to actually have text over the top. So if you want to, you could actually go back and use a different image for this if you have different images in your store. So let's just say like this was the second image for that. So you have process shots, right, of different looks. Then you can put the second one in here and it's a totally different image now. Not only is it a different style, but you're using a different image as well. And that will help you to also stand out and catch the eye multiple different ways of your audience. So we're going to use our, let's go back here, Surreal Fantasy Girl Watercolor Mushroom Art. So we already did keyword research. We're just going to pretend that this is the fairy. So Whimsical Fairy Girl. And then whatever materials that you used, watercolor and ink. And that's it. And then down here, your call to action could be shop now. And then you could obviously change out this background color to be maybe a purple or a light yellow, whatever you wanted it to do to stand out. You could use colors from the painting. That's also an option down here inside of, if you scroll all the way down, it says photo colors. So you could pull in colors from the painting itself and make it stand out, and then make your font white. I like that a lot, actually. And then don't forget to put your URL or your name on the thing for branding purposes. And let's just go create one more. So this one, I told you guys I don't like script fonts. I really don't. Let's look at our keywords. Fairy art drawing. It can seriously be as simple as this. And then you have to obviously delete all of these off. And go to your uploads, put your painting on. And that's it. I mean, I would probably add a little bit more text overlay to this, like down here. You could kind of bring this down here again, delete that one, and do this, make this one smaller. something like that. Like, who would this gift be suited for? And then do some keyword research around that person. A really good example of this is there's a lot of essential oils on Pinterest, and there's a lot of keywords around gift giving and friends. So you could use those kind of keywords as well, like witchy friends, for your artsy friend, you know, all kinds of things. There's all sorts of things. Just go on here and just type it in for real. Like, art friends drawing. Like, there's so many things that you can use. Gifts for your artsy friend. Perfect. Use those kinds of keywords on your images, and you can see, like, these are all square and they just don't stand out in the feed. So you can see how by creating your images like this for your e-commerce store, even though it goes against the grain, it's not what you've been taught, it's not what you see other people on Etsy doing on Pinterest, this, I promise, will help you to stand out against the sea of sameness that I talk about all of the time, and create Pinterest images that are really strategic and will really help you in the long run. So I hope this tutorial helped, and I'll see you next time. If this is new for you and you're really interested in learning how to grow your e-commerce store, make sure you head on over. I will link a video or something over on the side of me, of my face, and you can head on over and watch our e-commerce for shop owners video and learn how you can get started using Pinterest for your e-commerce store.